According to a new court filing by New York Attorney General Letitia James, Donald Trump's criminal actions, which is what they believe these are at this point, stretch for more than a decade. Letitia James, in this new court filing this week, says that Donald Trump and his organization were falsifying their financial records for more than 10 years in order to secure all sorts of special privileges, including loans, insurance coverage, and tax deductions, by lying about the values of their properties. Now, here's a couple examples I want to read to you. She cited the example that Trump Organization financial statements from 2010 to 2012 collectively valued rent-stabilized apartment units that it owned at $49.59 million, a figure more than 66 times the $750,000 total value that an outside appraiser had assigned to those same units. So, just to explain that a little bit, they have this property. They said, hey, this property is worth basically $50 million. But they had an appraiser come out and say, yeah, this is worth $750,000. And so they looked at that, they looked at the appraiser, and they said, yeah, we're going to call it $50 million. You know, because we get special perks if we do that. Another one. In another example, the company's financial statements from 2012 through 2016 said that Trump's triplex apartment in Trump Tower, Manhattan, exceeded 30,000 square feet and valued the apartment at up to $327 million based on those dimensions. But in 2017, the company's statement slashed the apartment's value by 2/3, sizing the residence at just under 11,000 square feet. So it wasn't just things like just changing the value. They were literally changing the square footage of what they owed according to these new court filings by this New York Attorney General. And of course, yes, that changes insurance amounts. So boom, you got likely insurance fraud right there. Changes how much you pay in taxes. So there goes your tax fraud. Overvaluing it basically means you can get more money in loans from the banks. So there you have potential bank fraud too. Bank fraud, tax fraud, insurance fraud. 3 things that individually would send any one of us to jail immediately. And the New York Attorney General is right here telling us, here it is in the court filing. And you know what the biggest irony of all this is? We wouldn't know about this. This wouldn't have been in that filing had Donald Trump and his legal teams not continued to insist upon appealing all of the decisions that have been handed down in courts recently. This one specifically was trying to overturn the lower court's rulings, saying that Trump and his kids had to sit for depositions. And it's worth reminding everyone that this is only a civil investigation. Because of the nature of this investigation, Letitia James is not going to issue any criminal indictments to anyone. All she is seeking is money that may be owed to the state. And they're fighting this hard, embarrassing themselves this hard, because they don't want to lose a little bit of money. At this point, you guys need to pony up, pay her off, not pay her off, but I mean pay off what you owe and get the hell out of there, because the longer this thing drags out, the worse they look. And sure, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg refuses to do anything about it. He's likely going to shut the investigation down in coming days or weeks. But that still doesn't mean that it can't be reopened. It doesn't mean that the United States Department of Justice couldn't open an investigation based on what the Attorney General finds. So the longer she's allowed to dig, the more court filings she has to make, the worse the situation gets for Donald Trump. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.